right, continue with the activities, okay? This part of the video is called Discuss Ways to Increase Creative Thinking, okay? It's very hard for me to create things, okay? I'm not very creative. It's so hard even when I am asked. For example, I have a baby boy, he's 2 years old, okay? And they ask me things for the nursery school where he attends. And for me, it's very difficult to do creative things. Like, I don't have the mind for that. As I teach adults, okay, I teach English, but adults, okay, you don't need like so much creativity from me. So that's why I am not very creative. So here we have some vocabulary related with this. Okay, participle adjectives, okay, present and past forms. Present and past participle are often used as adjectives, okay? Like all adjectives, they can precede the noun they describe, or they can be placed after the verb be or other linking verbs such as appear, become, feel, look, seem, or sound. So we have the following. His artwork is so amazing. I love his amazing work. And past participle, his mood was relaxed and he was in a relaxed mood. Remember, the present participle describes a cause and the past participle describes an effect. So the talk was inspiring, okay? And we left the talk feeling inspired, okay? ED and ING, okay? This is how the talk was and this is how I felt with the talk. There are many more here, okay? Many. So we have the base form, the present participle with the ing, and the past participle with ed. Okay, so let's see. The present is deprimente, depressed, deprimido, disappointing, decepcionante, disappointed, decepcionado. You see the difference? Okay, that is the idea. So you have to study them, okay, and try to use them in context. Okay, so now we're going to do activities related with this, right? So, how to choose an adjective to complete each sentence. Okay, we have relax, relaxing, surprising, surprised, touching, touch. Remember, you have to like write this down in your copybook. Boring, bored, amazing, amazed, and finally depressing, depressed. Right? So, listening to music at work can be very relaxing and help employees work more effectively. Number 2, most of the company's employees were surprised to hear the new office manager's idea, but most of them responded positively. It was the most touching talk I ever had. It made me want to change my career to nursing. What I disliked the most about this unbelievably boring horror film was the bad acting. We were amazed that our colleagues came up with such great suggestions. And finally, everyone felt a little depressed after the creativity workshop got cancelled. We had all been looking forward to it. Okay, that means that we wanted to go, but it was cancelled. Okay, listen to confirm turns. Okay, you're going to listen to a podcast. You have to choose the topic that Bruce Tyler discusses. Then tell your partner, okay, in this case we don't have, but then you can think, okay, which are the ones here. So you're going to listen a 5-minute talk, okay, a podcast, and you have to choose how companies can, okay, change office design, increase salaries, encourage employee participation, offer company perks, increase vacation time, improve customer loyalty, and encourage employees to take risk. Okay, so choose the topic that are discussed in the postcards. Okay, so here we go.
Good morning. This is Judith Harper, and I'm happy to welcome Bruce Tyler to the show today. Mr. Tyler is a corporate creativity consultant, and he's going to tell us about how creativity training has been changing the workplace as we know it. So, Bruce, what is creativity training?
Thanks for having me, Judith. So, we all tend to come to a new job with a set way of thinking and doing things. But in a constantly changing world, today's companies are looking for new ways to solve problems and meet the challenges of running a successful business.
What are some of those challenges?
So, in a global economy, there's much more competition than in the past. For example, maintaining customer loyalty is a concern for all companies.
Well, Google and Nike are two companies that are well known for encouraging creativity in their employees. Tell us about that.
That's right. What they've been doing for years now is thinking outside the box, coming up with new practices that encourage creative thinking and problem solving. This has made them highly attractive to job seekers looking for an exciting and inspiring company culture.
And of course, when employees are excited about their work, that's good for the company.
Right. As a matter of fact, in 2004, Google began encouraging employees to spend 20% of their workday time on what the company calls Google Passion Projects. This was so successful that the practice led to innovations such as Gmail and Google Chat, among others. So they've been pretty pleased with the results, and they continue that practice today.
So what do they specifically ask employees to do?
Well, for one thing, they encourage them to be open-minded, to set aside the common belief that there's only one correct answer, and instead to listen to their colleagues' ideas and contribute their own fresh ideas and perspectives.
Interesting.
In fact, employees are encouraged to take risks, to not be frightened of failure or being wrong.
I imagine they want to see a lot of brainstorming for ideas, right?
Exactly. When employees freely brainstorm with their colleagues, a lot more ideas can be laid on the table for consideration. Everyone's got different ideas, but as they say, two heads are always better than one.
Or 3 or 4?
Or even more. Rather than pigeonholing employees according to their job descriptions, employees are urged to use their talents and strengths to meet the company's challenges. That means everyone is included in the creative process.
So, aside from the Google 20% goal to spend 20% of work time on passion projects, how can companies make this kind of change in company culture and atmosphere?
Well, as Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, once said, creativity is just connecting things. These companies want an inclusive team environment with opportunities for more face-to-face interaction.
Of course. I imagine companies will want to change the traditional corporate office design, where employees are so focused on their daily tasks that they may not chat with their colleagues until lunchtime or at coffee breaks.
That's right. In a company that values creative thinking and problem solving, all employees' ideas are appreciated. And what these companies want is to see interaction between colleagues. One employee's idea sparks another.
I know many companies have been creating inspiring work environments that facilitate creativity.
Exactly. Instead of providing individual private offices, they design more open spaces so colleagues can interact more. Tables and chairs in conference rooms are replaced with sofas and comfortable armchairs. Some companies decorate the office with inspirational art. Some even pipe in music. They want their employees to feel inspired to think creatively.
That makes sense.
In addition, meetings are accompanied by colored markers, sticky notes, anything that helps create a stimulating atmosphere that's more like play than work. Another common practice is role-playing. For example, employees may play the role of a customer so they can carefully think through what the typical customer is looking for or wants or needs.
And I noticed some companies are offering perks like gym memberships, meditation, and yoga classes.
Right. Anything that will reduce stress and help staff think freely. Some companies are taking meetings off-site, like in a local coffee shop, or they have walking meetings where small groups of employees walk and talk together outdoors.
So they must believe there are concrete benefits to doing these practices, no?
Oh, definitely. A creative workforce is flexible and, when necessary, can make changes quickly. For their employees, they develop a sense of independence and a sense of achievement.
Well, I'm afraid our time is up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good, excellent. So let's see here. So these topics were covered in the podcast: change office design, encourage employees' participation, offer company perks, improve customers' loyalty, and encourage employees to take risks. Okay, good. So that was. Now listen for details, okay? There are two kinds of listenings, listening to the main ideas and listening for details. You already have the audio. So here you had to discuss these questions. What did Google tell its employees to do with their work time? What was the goal? He said Google told his employees to spend 20% of their workday time on what the company calls Google Passion Projects. They wanted their employees to be open-minded and listen to their colleagues, either ideas, and contribute their own fresh ideas and perspective. The goal was to come up with innovative ideas and solutions. 2. What have the other companies been doing to change the traditional office space? What's the goal? Companies design more open spaces so colleagues can interact more. Tables and chairs in conference room are replaced with sofas and comfortable armchairs. That's good. Some companies decorate the office with inspirational art. They want their employees to feel inspired to think creatively. Okay? Remember that you can write this down in your copybook, okay? And then you develop your own answers. These are sample answers. 3. What perks have some companies been offering their employees? What is the goal? Some companies offer, perk like gym membership, meditation, and yoga classes to help their staff reduce stress and think freely. Right? Okay, good. So this is the last class, okay, for this cycle. Then you can join the next one, okay? I always encourage you to join the next cycle. This is not so demanding. It's for your own learning sake, okay? It's going to always be good for your learning. We finish with this, okay? You have the week, you have to submit the piece of homework, okay? And then we will upload a test, okay? Good.